Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a request. I did have a request to make a bikini bottom, reversible bikini bottom with ruching. Now as you all know, I have a bikini tutorial up already. I also have a reversible bikini tutorial up already, so I'm not going to go through the whole entire process of how to cut it and where to cut, what to use, how to, I'm not going to go through all that because I have two videos up that explain pretty much everything you need to know about cutting and designing your own bikini bottom. So let's get started. Okay, so I will tell you that I use these. These are brand new. I haven't worn them, so don't think I'm showing you ugly underwear, but I got these from Victoria's Secret. But anyway, I used this as a template to cut the bikini bottom because in the request I was asked to show how to close the sides. Now what you see here that's different than the reversible bikini in the first bikini tutorial I did for you is that it's squared off at the sides, so there will be no attaching any strings. And this is the front, and as you can see right now I have the wrong sides of the fabric facing me. So this is what the front looks like, and don't mind my Sharpie marker. I thought it was a different marker, my washable marker, and it's Sharpie. And this is the back. So let's get into what type of fabric I'm using. The top fabric is a cotton knit, and we've talked about knits before, but as you can see it's stretchy. And then I have a spandex with a 4-way stretch is what I'm using. And like I told you in my reversible bikini video, you can use any type of fabric on the outside: lace, cotton knit, crochet fabric. If you have some silky fabric or something like that that you want to use, that's great too, but I will always suggest that you use some kind of spandexy material so it has that stretch. And I will go over again, because some of you are new to my channel, that when you're working with knits, spandex, any type of stretchy fabric, you want to use a zigzag stitch, because this will allow the fabric to stretch as you're pulling and putting it on. If you use a straight stitch, the fabric tends to be stiff and not stretchy, and it will tend to rip when you try to put it on. So the best thing to use for any type of stretchy material is a zigzag stitch. So let's get started with sewing. First we're going to start with the front part, and you guys already know, we're going to leave the bottom part, the crotch area, we're going to leave that open because that's how we're going to flip it out, and this will allow you to have that reversible look without showing you the seam. So let's get started. I like to start at the edge when I'm sewing. It just makes it easier, that way I can go all the way around without taking the fabric out. So I'm going to switch my sewing machine to my zigzag stitch. Make sure all my settings are right. Just going to go all the way around. Back stitch. Take your pins out as you go. Don't pull, just kind of ease this through, because if you pull, you're going to get that kind of ruffled, stretched out looking effect, and you don't want that. So when you're coming around the edge, instead of taking your needle out, what you can do is just lift the foot and turn the fabric. Easy. You don't have to take your needle out. You don't have to start all over. Okay, so right now I just wanted to stop to show you this part. This part is the elastic right here, and I have this still pinned right now, but we're coming around to that point. So I'm going to take the needle out and I'm going to hold this, and I'm still at this point not stretching the fabric when I cross the elastic. I just want this to be a placeholder. So I'm going to try to hold this and come over it. I'm going to go over it one more time. Okay guys, so I made a really big goof. Okay, when I turned it right side out, my elastic was on the outside. So do not do that part. Do not put the elastic on the inside like I showed you. And I will probably edit that from my video. But what I'm going to do, because I need my elastic to start at the top, I am going to flip this inside out again and make me a slight opening. I already made my mark where the middle of my bikini is, so I'm going to just go by that, which is right here. So I did that by folding my bikini in half because I need a middle. I'm just going to open this up with my seam ripper just a little bit, and we'll close it back when we're done. I just need this opened just slightly in order to fit that elastic in there. So now we're going to turn this right side out. Okay, so now it's right side out. You have the option to iron if you'd like. I'm not going to iron this just because I'm doing this request, and this isn't like a full tutorial like I would normally do. So I'm going to stick this through that tiny little hole that I made. And you can use a safety pin if you need to, if you're more of a beginner, but I'm fine with just using my fingers for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold that, push it down just slightly, and don't worry, you'll be able to fix this. So now I'm just going to go through the machine. It's still on my zigzag stitch, and I'm just going to go over that. I'm going to go over it again so I know what to do. Now for this particular project, if you're looking to have no seam, I don't really see a way for you not to see the threads for this. But you can use matching thread, what have you. You're going to see it on the outside. So I'm going to pull this down. I'm going to pull it down, and I'm going to pin it right there so it doesn't move when I'm sewing. And you can see it's giving that little ruche already. But don't worry, because you're going to stretch it once you start to sew. This is the only part of this project where you're going to stretch the fabric. Pin it, make sure it's secure, make sure it's not going to come loose. Now this is the tricky part, because you can't see where the elastic is, you can only feel it. So this comes the part where you have to have a lot of patience. So we're going to stick that in there right at the top, right where we started. Let's make, I'm going to put my needle in my fabric. I'm going to go over it, start going over it, just so it's in there and it won't come out. Then I'm going to pull on my fabric until it's straight, and I'm going to try my best to sew this. Now what you want to do when it starts coming across the other side, you want to grab that side. That way you have something to hold on to, and I can actually see my elastic through the white portions of my stripes because my elastic's black. If it were white, I probably wouldn't be able to see it as good, but I can see it. As you can see, mine's a little crooked, but you have the ruching. You can see it on the other side. If you want more ruching, I would say use less elastic, pull it a little bit more than you've already pulled it, and that way you'll have a lot more ruching. It's totally up to you what you want it to look like, how you want it to feel. So now we want to connect the back with our front. Out the way. Like I said, normally I would use an iron, but today I just didn't want to fuss with it. So we're going to fold this in as much as we can. This part is also a tricky part. So I'm just going to hold this. I'm going to use my scissors to hold this down. Well, I do the same thing to this side. And you may have to come up a bit and release a little bit of those threads where the elastic is just to fold this in, or to eliminate that, you can stick this on the inside. Of this. Sorry, this fabric is so tricky. One side is cotton knit, the other side is like a silky spandex, so it's a little tricky trying to stabilize it. Okay, so let's just start putting that there. Match corner to corner as much as you can. That way everything, all seams are in the right place. I'm going to pin that down just to hold it until I sew it. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing with this side, and then we're just going to sew this closed, and then we'll sew the sides closed. Okay guys, so what you want to do is make sure that everything is folded in on both sides, and I pinned my red side, and we're just going to continue with our zigzag stitch. Sew this closed. And I want to make sure it looks right on the other side. And I have a piece that I just have to cut off just slightly along with my threads. Unless someone's staring at your crotch, they're not going to see the overlap. No one should be staring at your crotch anyway, but it's fine. The best thing about sewing for yourself is that you can always fix it because you know how you made it, you know how you want it to look, and you know how to fix it because of all that. So now what we're going to do is close our sides up. Now, of course, this will have the seams. It's going to show on one side just because it's reversible and the way we had to do the ruching. But if you don't really care about seeing the thread, you can just go ahead and go along with it, like I said, or you can do matching thread to where I'm sorry, you won't see it as much, or you could just use a different color to make it look decorative, like that's how it's supposed to look. Back stitch. And again, because these parts can be a little bit thicker, you may just have to go ahead and pull things through just a slight bit. Okay. cut that little bit off and do the same thing with the other side. Okay, so now we are all done with our reversible bikini with ruching in the back. I hope that this answers all of your questions for the person that asked me for this request. It looks good, it feels good, it's nice and comfy. I'm pretty sure it's going to look a lot better when you put it on. And see, it's still stretchy, still has that stretch to it. So it's just like a normal bikini bottom. And it will look a lot better if I would have ironed it, but that's okay, like I said. Here we go. This is what it looks like. Okay, so once you have it all flattened out, it'll look much better. And just like I told you in my other tutorials with the bikinis and the bikini bottoms, you can use pretty much any fabric you want to. You just have to make sure you have some kind of stretchy fabric on the back to make it comfortable for you. If you have any questions about the tutorial that we did today, go ahead and ask me in the comments. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Go ahead and share it out with whoever you want to share it out with. If you would like to connect with me on my social media, you can do so. All of that is in the description. I also have my Etsy shop. It's not much in it right now just because I haven't had the time to finish up the things that I want to put in the shop, so you can just check out what's in there right now. I do have a lot of stuff up and coming that we're going to do together. Just right now things have been really crazy, which is why I didn't do a video last week. I have a lot of family issues going on right now that calls for my full attention, so it's really hard for me to focus on my channel the way I want to. And I do want to apologize yet again for not having that video up last week. But yeah, all of my information is in the description. You can check all of the links out to everything that I have there. Also, if there's something you'd like to see me make, go ahead and ask me, and I will see all of you next time. Bye!